Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I am attorney Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law, and it's my pleasure to have you with us today. We're going to have an amazing show, and I'm so glad that we can welcome everyone into our Meldon Law family today. The purpose of this show really is to support everything going on in our community in North Central Florida, help charitable organizations and new businesses, established businesses that are part of the fabric of our community. And we want to support everybody. It's something that we've been doing for a long time at Meldon Law and hope to continue doing for many more years in the future. A lot of great things are going on at Meldon Law. Our focus at Meldon Law is helping people who have been seriously injured in a crash or any kind of an accident put their lives back together. So if you ever have the need, please remember us, Meldon Law. Give us a call. We will definitely give you the best client of experience of anybody. We focus very strongly on client experience. Our staff is trained to be empathetic, to be knowledgeable, and to be able to make you feel like you're in good hands and get you a great result in your case as well. So all you have to do is reach out to us, meldonlaw.com. You can Google Meldon Law. You can call our phone number 352-373-8000. You can do whatever it takes to get a hold of us, and I promise you a great client experience. A couple things coming up. The Gators won against Tennessee. Yahoo! We needed the big win. This is the biggest win we've had in years and years because it really set the tone for what the Gators can be in the future. And I think the crowd at the stadium was incredible. My wife Patricia and I were there, and boy, we had a blast. It was so much fun just hearing everybody rocking the stadium. And actually, the fans had a large part in winning the game because the Tennessee Vols made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of it was caused because the crowd noise was so loud they couldn't hear the quarterback calling the plays. So anyhow, it was a great day there, and we want to share with you what's going on. Our big contest. This one's awesome. It's the VIP package for the Florida Georgia game in Jacksonville. We're going to set you up in Jacksonville for an amazing weekend for the Florida Georgia game, which may wind up being a closer contest than many of us thought earlier in the year. We could come out of there and steal a game. You never know. So here's how it works. We set you up for 2 nights at the Hilton Hotel right on the river across from the stadium. So you can take a boat over to the game and have a great time. Friday night, we've got you reservations for 2 at Ruth Chris Steakhouse on us. So we're going to treat you to a great dinner. And then Saturday, before the game, we're going to give you tickets to the VIP experience, leading into great seats for the 2 of you at the game. And after the game, we're going to be giving you a football individually and personally signed to you by Coach Billy Napier. We'll also give you some Meldon swag in our swag bag and a bunch of other things that are going to really make it a terrific experience. So all you have to do is go to our Facebook page, Meldon Law, and you will see it's called the Florida, Georgia VIP experience for two giveaway. So go check out our Facebook page, and you can win this incredible package, and it will be a blast. I go to that Florida Georgia game every year, and there's nothing like it in college football. They call it the world's largest cocktail party for good reason. There's about 80,000 people inside the arena or the stadium, split right down the middle, half Florida, half Georgia. And outside, there's about 50,000 people partying who couldn't get seats to the game but just want to be around to be part of the party. So it's a one-of-a-kind event. Please join us. This weekend, Florida Georgia Fan Fest versus Charlotte. Charlotte's coming to town. It's a night game. Thank God. I love these night games during the summer. We're certainly still in the summer, even though it's September. And the game starts at 7 p.m. and from 4:30 until kickoff, we're going to be right outside the ticket booth at the O-Dome, right next to the football stadium. And we're going to be giving away all kinds of free swag, lots of exciting gifts. All you have to do is spin the wheel of fortune, and everybody wins. That's the best part of the Fan Fest experience. Just look for the Meldon Law tent and go where the music is, because Elio Piedra, the music man, is always right next to the Meldon Law tent, and we're going to have a party. You can hang out, dance, listen to the music, win swag, and we'll make sure there's water for you if it's hot. So come and join us. Williston, the same day as our football game, except much earlier, 11 to 4, we're having our big event out there. It's called the Williston Fiesta. It's taking place at Heritage Park, and there's going to be all kinds of Latin cuisine, music, dance, arts, crafts, all kinds of things celebrating the Hispanic Americans' culture in our country. Parking and admission is free. It's a fantastic family-friendly opportunity. Bring the kids. They'll love it, and it's going to be a really nice event. We know the folks out there at Heritage Park, and they do a terrific job of presenting their event in Williston. About once a month, they have a big party with music, food, dance, everything. Patricia Meldon, my wife, and myself are chairing the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is coming up on the bye week before the Florida-Georgia game. That's October 21st, Saturday morning. Registration starts at 9. The walk kicks off at 10. It's out at the Trinity Methodist Church in Gainesville. We'd love for you or where you work to put a team together and help us walk to end Alzheimer's. As I've mentioned before on this show, we're very encouraged because the Federal Drug Administration has now approved a drug to help minimize the effects of early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. And we're really excited about what the future holds as far as helping either cure or at least minimize the effect of disease that devastates many families. I hardly know anybody that doesn't have somebody they know or love that's been affected by Alzheimer's or dementia. So all you have to do is go to alz.org. alz.org. That's the Alzheimer's website. And you can just put /Gainesville and you'll get right into it. And it'll tell you what you can do. You can donate money. You can put teams together. There's lots of great things going on. And, at Meldon Law, we always like to support important causes. And this one is definitely important and doing great work. We know the folks involved, and your money goes directly into supporting the research for Alzheimer's and also resources, because even though there may not be cures, sometimes the resources available to help find someone to help you care for your loved one can be extremely important. So alz.org /Gainesville, and you'll be there. We'd love to have you help out. Saturday morning, it's going to be a beautiful day out, and we had a great time last year walking out there. It's a really nice event to join, and you're going to be involved in helping a lot of people minimize the effects of Alzheimer's and dementia. Tom Petty weekend coming up. It's actually the same weekend, Friday through Sunday, October 20th through the 22nd at the Heartwood Soundstage. And they have got some great groups that are going to celebrate the legacy of Tom Petty. Many of these groups, they're original artists who love Tom Petty and are doing interpretations of his songs, as well as some of their own original work. And it's going to be an incredible weekend. There's all kinds of great packages available at whatever level you want. You could even get in for the whole weekend for, I think it's $50. I mean, this is a very, very low cost ticket. However, if you want the VIP experience, that's recommended and available as well, because your money goes to support the arts. The way to go there is just go to Tom Petty Weekend. Just Google it, Tom Petty Weekend 2023, and you'll see all of the details there. I was there last year, and actually Meldon Law has been a huge supporter of the Tom Petty weekend parties over the last 6 years, and we want to encourage people to come out, celebrate Gainesville's most famous recording artist and performer, a great man who has given back a lot to our community and is very involved. As a matter of fact, if you go out to the Cade Museum, the exhibit right now is Tom Petty, the Wildflowers album, and it is amazing. It's a top-notch exhibit. Many details of the creation of Wildflowers are explained, including handwritten notes as Tom was writing the songs, as he was working on the album. You'll see his board and how he put the album together, because I think there were 25 songs that he wrote, but they only wanted to release a single album, not a double album, which meant he had to cut out about half the album. And they went with part one, which was a huge success. And then years later, after he passed a couple years ago, they released Wildflowers, the complete album, with both the original songs and the songs that had never been released. So Tom Petty Weekend, October 20th through the 22nd, out at the Heartwood Soundstage. If you want to get in, go to Tom Petty Weekend 2023, and you will see all of the options for the weekend. As a matter of fact, next week at the Charlotte game, at the stadium, at the football game, it's going to be Tom Petty Day. And we're all excited. Some of you know I was Tom Petty's first attorney, and it's always fun to be there to celebrate a great musician who was born and raised right here in North Central Florida. So those are some of the things going on. We're very excited. If you ever have the need to get help from a law firm that's going to treat you like family, you give Meldon Law a call. I promise you, you'll be wowed by the level of service and the experience that our team puts forth to help you. All you have to do is go to meldonlaw.com or give us a call at 352-373-8000, and we will be there to help you. Anyhow, we are going to take a break, and then we're going to be back with our next guest, Minde O'Sullivan. Thank you very much, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Attention all Gator fans, Meldon Law is giving away a chance to experience the Florida-Georgia game like never before. 2-night stay at the Hilton on the River, dinner at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, 2 premium tickets to the game, and a football signed by Coach Billy Napier, and much more. Go to the Meldon Law Facebook page and look for the VIP experience for 2. Good luck and go Gators!
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
I was driving behind a lady, and very suddenly she moved out of the way. There was a log laying in the road, and when I hit my brakes, I went on top of the log. I had 2 herniated discs. I just haven't been the same since. Jeffrey Meldon fought for me all the way. Him and his team really went there for me. Throughout the whole lawsuit, he made sure that my bills was paid. It was never no whenever I called him and asked him for something.
Call Meldon Law right now.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again!
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey!
Somebody
hit
else
us!
hit us
Yeah,
here. Here we go again. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law, and it's our great pleasure today to welcome Minde O'Sullivan to the show. How are you doing today, Minde?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Great. I'm so excited. I know that you're a huge Gator
Yes.
baseball fan. How did you become a huge Gator baseball fan?
Well, I think growing up in Gainesville, I've just been a Gator fan my whole entire life, you know?
That's what we do, right? You're an ACR.
Right, I am an ACR, yep.
For those
yep.
of you that don't know, ACR means Alachua County residents. And the kids and people that have born and raised here and grow up and come back together, they all call themselves ACR.
I never left. I graduated from the University of Florida and I've stayed my whole life. So, yeah, I'm born a Gator, raised 2 Gators. My boys were Gators. Yep. Married a Gator.
I know. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's what life is all about up here in Gainesville, Florida. So anyhow, I know we have a big event coming up,
Yes.
And I want to talk to our listeners. September 29th at the Touchdown Terrace, we're having the annual fundraiser for the Rex and Brody Foundation. And let's go back and talk a little bit about, what the foundation is about, and how I know quite a bit about the story,
Right.
which is a very sad story. However, you're actually doing something to honor the lives of your sons
Right.
and what was going on. So
Right.
why don't you go ahead and tell the story?
Okay, so I my two sons, Rex was 14 and Brody was 11. They died in a murder-suicide by my former husband, and on May 4th, 2021. And I mean, when your whole entire world just gets swept out from underneath you, literally in 5 seconds. I got the dog back somehow because she was with him and she ran away. So I have her still, Ellis, who was Brody's dog. And I think you're faced with two different options: to either give up, and lay down, or to pick up the pieces and do something positive out of this like awful tragedy. And so I was sitting on my parents' back porch for a long period of time. Everyone, for hours, everyone was coming and bringing food, and you're just kind of numb and like to the whole entire situation. And I said, I want to start a foundation. So with the help of all my friends and a lot of powerful people around me, we started the Rex and Brody Foundation within a week. And that foundation, they played every sport. I mean, golf, they fished, they played basketball, baseball, football. I mean, anything that you had a winner and a loser, they were involved in.
So they were competitive.
They were competitors, and they were, they competed with each other every single day, all day long. So they gravitated the later years of their life towards baseball, and I saw baseball change, their life, their personalities, their responsibilities, like their work ethics. And so I wanted to originally just give back to baseball because that's the sport that they loved and were hoping to play the rest of their life. And but now, since we've started the foundation, we've kind of branched off and helped softball teams and, and other. We sponsored a middle school basketball team this year, of girls basketball team. We do donations to every sport. And so I think that, through this awful tragedy, we've somehow managed to give a lot of money back into the sports that they loved in the community. And we've done facility upgrades, which is a lot of money, but I'm really proud of it. Alachua County needed it.
Yeah, well, so let's go back a minute, okay?
Okay.
So here you are, a week after this horrible tragedy, and you're trying to find something
purpose.
to do to put one
Yes.
foot in front of the next.
Right, yep.
Right, that's it. I mean, I've been through some difficult situations, but nothing, that comes close to this. So, I mean, your immediate reaction is you're paralyzed.
Paralyzed, right.
And
what I've said like multiple times is that there is no handbook written to what to do when this happens. I mean, this doesn't happen to a lot of people, right?
Right.
There's no timeline of what you should do and when you should do it or how you should approach it. So it's just kind of surviving. You're in survival mode, for a long time, a while. And during that survival mode, and I was so lucky to have so many friends and family around me for, they had a list like this, and it was a babysitting list, so I was never alone. So people it was taped on the kitchen counter. So you could sign up from like 8 to 11, you're going to be with me, or 11 to 1, you're going to be with me.
And even though you were zoned out,
right?
At least
it was someone was sitting here rubbing my back and making me take a shower, and I mean, but I don't know what I would have done without that. It sounds silly, but it really.
So did somebody start talking to you about what can we do to?
Well, I said, my boys were and they still are the largest part of my life, right? I mean, I was a hands-on mom. I never missed a lesson. I never missed a tournament. I never missed a game, a practice. I lived for them, really. They were, that's all I did in my life. I was the homeroom mom. I went and volunteered every day at their school. So when they left, I thought, well, I want to try to keep them alive and make them proud. So I didn't know how else to do that besides starting our foundation in honor of them with their names and giving back to the sports and the community that had supported them and loved them for all these years, and they loved right back.
Well, I think that's amazing. I know, my son Kerry, I guess you were in school with him. Did you go to GHS?
No, I went to Oak Hall, and then I dual enrolled into Santa Fe my junior and senior year and graduated with an AA as soon as the same time I graduated high school.
But everybody knew each other.
Everyone knows each other,
For those of you that don't know, but the kids that grew up in Gainesville, it's a small enough town, so no matter what school you're going to, everybody gets to know each other.
Yep.
So your kids and my kids, we get them really involved in sports because it's a good way to keep them out of trouble,
Right.
and to also they enjoy themselves, they grow as human beings, and it sounds like you were, very, very focused on that, and that you also got to see lots of different facilities around town.
Oh, I traveled, all over the Southeast with the boys, and, I can't say enough positive things for having your children involved in sports. I laugh, I tell people all the time, like, they're learning life lessons that will, like, help them for, 50 years to come, no matter if it's in the business world or personally or whatever. They're learning so many lessons by being involved in a team or a sport, and work ethic and everything. So I'm so happy to be able to help as many children as I can.
Well, I think that's admirable that you're able, from the ashes, you were able to start reconstructing stuff. So give us some examples of some things that the foundation has done so far to help with the facilities or getting kids here and there, and what are some things that we've done already, and where do we want to go?
Okay, so I think we've done a couple of big facility upgrades, and that is costs a lot of money, but we've had a lot of support with people volunteer their time and building aspects and stuff. So we did Diamond Sports Park, where they play all the middle school softball and baseball, and we just put in batting cages out there. There was never batting cages out there. And so we put batting cages out there. We did turf for Newberry High School's batting cages. We put in a huge, it's called the Rex and Brody Training Facility out at Jonesville Park, where Gator Brawl is based out of, but it's also a public park owned by Alachua County. And that's going to have you have the opportunity to either have 4 bullpens or 4 batting cages. And it's huge, and it's going to have it has electricity with fans, because I sat out there, I can't tell you how many times in the middle of June and July and sweated and watched their batting practices.
It's hot.
It's hot. And it's covered, so even in the rain. And then we sponsored jerseys for Gainesville High School's baseball team. What else have we done? And then we've sponsored tons of teams, just little $500 to $700 sponsorships all throughout North Central Florida. I think the thing that I'm proud of a lot of stuff, but my boys went to Cooperstown, New York in 2019 for a 12U tournament. And it was always Rex's dream to go up there and play. They play with 100 different other teams from around the country. And they stay in barracks with their teams, and it's so much fun, and it's in the middle of summer, and you're in Cooperstown. We tour the Hall of Fame, and Rex got to go twice. And when Rex went one time, Brody was 9 and actually got to go because someone dropped out at the last minute on Rex's team. And my boys like traveled the world and lived this huge, outstanding, amazing life. And if you ask them, you know, the day before they died, what their best week of their life was, they said Cooperstown. But it's very expensive and it's hard to trek up there, and you have to bring coaches and an umpire. So, and you get grandfathered in with a certificate. So I have vouched that I will bring a team up there every single year. So we've brought a team up there the last 2 years, and the foundation pays for it. So just the entry fee for each player to go play is $1,800 a piece.
A piece for each kid on the team?
And then the coach also. And then you have to supply an umpire. So it's very expensive. And our foundation has provided that for, you know, the last 2 years, and hopefully we'll continue to do it forever. They pin trade. I mean, it's just the best experience ever.
So now what do they do? The teams play each other on baseball diamonds right there up in Cooperstown?
So I think, I don't quote me on this, I think there's like 16 or maybe 20 fields. I mean, it's like Disney World. It's like Disney World for baseball. You walk in and everything's red, white, and blue, and they have American songs playing like in the bushes, and you know, I mean, it's manicured beautifully, and you're in the mountains of New York, and the Baseball Hall of Fame is, you know, 5 minutes away. So it is really every little boy's dream to play up there. And yes, they play 100 teams from around the world, a country. Yeah.
So I was up in Cooperstown maybe 30 years ago. I don't know if it was as developed as it is now.
Right.
But it's an amazing experience. I can tell you that you know, you go up there in the summer and you just like anybody that's followed baseball just is blown away. And all the great names that you see, you know, they have the bust of the players and their story and their uniforms.
Right.
It's like, you know, one of the ultimate museums in the world.
It's crazy. It's so much fun. And I told Sully, because he came up there with us last year for the first time, I said, every restaurant is named after baseball. You're ordering the like home run burger. I mean, if you love baseball, it is like every person's dream to be up there for a little bit.
I'll tell you, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Cleveland Indians were really good when right after I was born. They won a World Series in 1948.
Wow.
And then in 1954, I was 10 years old, and I was getting into baseball, and the Indians had the winningest team in the history of the American League that year. And I went to games, but I also would listen every single night to the baseball game.
How fun.
And I mean, that's the year I think I got hooked on.
Right.
I mean, I was playing Little League and stuff like that. But then, you know, I mean, you know, when I saw this team, you know, winning and winning and winning, it was like one thing led to another. So I like, you know, Rex and Brody at the age of 9 or 10.
Right.
Was completely hooked on baseball.
Right. That's the way they were, you know.
You know, so I can relate.
They loved every second of it. They worked so hard. I mean, they were doing everything they were doing everything correct to you know, be so successful for years to come. But I mean, they were very competitive. I'd say, you know, on a Friday night, I'd hear ding, 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 and I'd walk out into the garage, and they're hitting in. They have their speaker set up. It's 1 a.m, and they're heading into a net in the garage. I'm like, do y'all ever stop? You know, this is like a training facility at 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday night in our, you know, garage. But that's how they were. They loved it, and they would do anything in the world to be successful. And they were really, really, really hard workers.
Well, you know what? It's so wonderful to hear stories like that, because a lot of kids right now, they can get lost in the shuffle. In the old days, you know, it was oftentimes, you know, one parent worked, the other one, you know, was able to nurture the kids. Then both parents were working. Then both parents were working and some were working 2 jobs.
Right,
and,
right.
And that's pretty typical right now.
Right,
So there has to be some outlet for kids.
right.
So doing what you're doing, trying to look, it's always nicer when you go to a facility and if they have a batting cage, that means you
Right.
can practice.
And I feel like the facility upgrades that we've done and the structures that we've put in, they're going to be there longer than I'm here on this earth. I mean, they're really solidly done, and there's going to be, people that are going to benefit from years to come off what this foundation's doing right now.
So if people want to get involved in the foundation, how do they do that?
Okay, so we have 2 things. We have our foundation party is on September 29th at Touchdown Terrace.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, that is a lot of fun.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I think our corporate sponsors shut down on, I think yesterday or the day before, but you can still buy individual tickets. So you click on rexandbrody.com, and it's very user friendly. You just click on purchase a ticket and you write your name. But that is at Touchdown Terrace. It has a live band.
Who's playing?
Oh my gosh, you can't ask me stuff like that on that. I have it.
They're
Really, really good. They're
Okay,
really good.
really good.
Yes, they came last year. It's oh gosh, I can't think, but they're very good. And then we have live auction items, we have silent auction items, we have live entertainment, and we have Blue Water Bay that caters it with a sushi rolling station and bourbon tasting and a full bar. So it's a lot of fun. Dancing.
For those of you that don't know, Blue Water Bay does the best job.
The best. I
I'll
mean,
say.
we have tenderloin and seafood and ahi tuna, and then there's going to be a sushi rolling station, which
So
everyone loves.
it's a Friday night.
Yep.
And
It's the
what time?
It's at 7:00.
7 p.m. Friday, September 29th.
Yep. So we play Kentucky away the next day. So
Right.
it's an away
So
game.
you're in town. Okay. This is the warm up for
Right.
for us beating Kentucky.
Right. Exactly.
And it's going to be a great party. I know Meldon Law, we're going to put together a really nice gift bag
Thank you.
for you and
Thank you.
do some nice things.
The one thing about that is that, first of all, I'm so bad about asking for money. It's just something that I'm not good at. But so it's our one time of year that we do a fundraiser, unless we have people trickling in, and there's also an link on the website that you can just go and make a donation. I mean, like $5, it doesn't matter, any amount. And you can do that year round, but this is our one fundraiser. We don't ask any other time. So we want to make it as successful as possible to put it right back into the community.
Okay, so the way y'all can help is by going to the Rex and Brody Foundation. It's rexandbrody.com,
Yep.
right? Now is the
It's A&D, yes.
A&D. Rexandbrody.com, and then whatever you can afford. This is really a significant contribution to our community. Actually, in Alachua County, we're blessed to have a lot of good sports facilities. I know Newberry and Alachua have some great things. In Gainesville, they're fixing up a lot of the facilities. However, there's a lot more that can be done.
Right.
And having really fresh, new, exciting facilities where the kids can develop in the sports makes a difference. If you just if you just have some old rundown park that nobody's tended to in 10 years and it's starting to get old, it just isn't as exciting as coming out to a fresh new ballpark with some facilities. Like you say, how do you get better in baseball?
Right.
You get better by practicing.
Right.
So there's only so much you can do if you're standing at the bat
Right.
at the plate and a pitcher's throwing balls to you and there's 6 other guys waiting
Right.
to
Exactly.
hit, right?
Right.
With the batting cage,
Right.
you go, I got the batting cage, right? And
Yes.
you can go in there for an allotted period of time.
Yep.
and really,
And they'll be there forever, and they're open to the public. And so I think that's, I mean, I hope that I remember watching my boys spend hours and hours in a batting cage. So now that, there's so many availability from our foundation. Another thing I forgot to tell you is that we have made a donation to Buchholz High School. They're in the process of redoing their fields, and that is a large donation. And it's kind of bittersweet because that's where Rex should be playing right now as a junior. But it's also makes me proud that it's where he should be, pitching off that mound, and, that will help kids for years to come.
so I'm good friends with Andrew Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Who was for those of you that don't know, probably the greatest baseball player that ever came out of Gainesville was Andrew Miller. He was a pitcher. He played for, Cleveland and Boston and New York, and he was a World Series MVP and stuff.
Right.
And he's really done well, and we need to reach out to Andrew to help.
Okay, we can.
I've got his cell phone
I
number.
can talk. I'm a talker, so we can get him on
See if we can get
speakerphone.
Andrew Miller to help out, particularly for the Buchholz deal.
Yeah.
Right?
I would love that.
And he's one of the smartest young athletes that I've ever known. Great family. I know his mom and dad. And so I'm going to just make a note. Let's call Andrew Miller. Because
ASAP.
no. So what are we doing at Buchholz?
So at first I wanted to do a turf halo and put the boy's name on it. And so it has turned into that was my idea, 2 years ago, and it's turned into a much larger project. So they're going to actually turf all the foul lines all the way from the outfield all the way around home plate, and then we'll still have the boys' names next to first and third. So it's going to help a lot, and they're going to, they're in the process of redoing a lot of that field, and we have made a verbal large donation for that.
Okay, so listen up, guys. Listen up, team. We gotta help. We're really doing a lot of important things, and it's helping the youth in our community. There's nothing more that we can do than to nourish and create the opportunities for youth to go out there, have a good time, play some sports, enjoy it, learn leadership, friendship, how to help other kids when they're down, do all those things that really make a difference in someone's life. This is your opportunity to reach out and help a very, very important organization. And also it's going to be fun.
It's
Next
a lot of
Friday,
fun.
you
Yes.
can go to a big party, and
Yep.
if you miss this year's party, you can go next year.
It's a lot of fun.
It's an amazing opportunity, and I think if we can grow the organization, certainly that's something that we really look forward to. And I want to thank you for coming on and sharing.
Well, thank you for having
everything
me.
that we're doing. If you go on the website, sponsorships and everything.
And it also
are there.
explains where we're going, our goals and everything. I mean, we sponsor everything from 8-year-olds softball to buying bats for teams and gloves for teams. But we have an Instagram page, and it's Rex and Brody Foundation. We also have a Facebook page, and they post about twice a week. So when when you're making any amount of donation, you can see exactly where it's going for sponsoring all sorts of teams. And, I think that if you go follow us, it'll have a clear understanding of where all the money's going.
And Mindy's got an inside connection because her husband is Kevin O'Sullivan, who's the Gator baseball coach that almost won the national championship by one little game. And Coach Sully is an amazing human being who is there to help. And I think it's important to really understand that baseball, which we used to call it the great American sport, because every kid when I grew up, we were all baseball fans.
Right.
There wasn't the NFL and there
Right.
wasn't the NBA and all that. Those are just like minor things. But baseball is something special. And I was talking to Mindy earlier. My wife and I, we go to almost every baseball game. If we're in town, we're at the game.
It's so much fun.
And the gate. So here's a plug for the Gator baseball, okay? Because the Gary Condren ballpark is about 2.5, 3 years old.
Right.
And it is amazing. I don't know if people who haven't been there understand how lucky we are in Gainesville.
I have pulled up there. I tell Sully every single time. I mean, I don't know how many times I've pulled up to that stadium. Every single time. I mean, I pulled up there this morning and I thought, this is just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And it's so family friendly. And my boys, were such a big part of the team, and they went to every game unless we were traveling with their baseball. They never missed a game. And it's just family friendly. You can buy a $10 general admission tickets, and the kids can play wiffle ball on the turf field, and there's food trucks in the outfield, and there's a bar in the outfield, and you can sit on the grass in the burn. It's like it's so easy, and it's so much fun. It's the best ballpark that I've ever been in for college.
Yeah, and like Mindy was saying, there's all kinds of activities there for the kids.
Yep.
So, I mean, kids, it's hard to get kids to sit in one spot for 3 hours or 2 hours. So,
right.
what they've done is make it family friendly. There's that back area in right field.
Yeah,
where
the little
kids,
turf area. They play.
Yeah.
There's a bounce house out there, and they have a big screen that shows the game, and the kids play very competitive wiffle ball.
Yeah, and out in center field, they've got the food truck area, and you can sit on Adirondack chairs and watch the game, and you can bring your blankets and picnic stuff in the berms in left field and right field are grass, and you see families and kids and
It's
college
so much
kids
fun.
sitting out there. And
Yep.
there's all these different areas. There's not a bad seat in the house because it's only about 5,500 seats in the place, plus the outfield areas. So we got to put a plug in for Gator baseball, because if you want to see high caliber baseball with future major leaguers.
I mean, look at how right now we're watching, all of them. It's
They're
so
all-
much fun.
Yeah. So there's probably as many Gators in the major leagues as any other college.
I think that is true.
Yeah.
Yep. This year. Yep.
So the purpose of this is to raise money to create better facilities within Gainesville, Alachua County, and help other kids grow and develop just the way your
Rex and
sons were
Brody did.
growing and
Yep.
developing
Right.
from baseball. And these facilities are really important. Whatever you can do, go on the website, check them out on Instagram. What's the Facebook page?
Rex and Brody Foundation.
Rex and Brody Foundation, Instagram, Facebook, the website. You can get all the information you need to donate. rexandbrody.com is how you're going to find the information you need. So Gators, let's get together and support everything about the Rex and Brody Foundation.
much.
Thank you very much, Mindy. Appreciate
And hope
it.
to see a lot of people on September 29th. It's a lot of fun.
September 29th,
fun.
7
I
p.m.,
promise.
the Touchdown Terrace at
Yes.
Ben Hill Griffin
Yep.
Stadium, and we're going to have a blast. And thank you very much for
Yes.
joining.
Thank you for having me.
See you later, gang.
Bye.